There is an old apartment building that stands forgotten at the edge of the city. Its paint is cracked, the hallways smell of dust, and the wooden floors creak with every step. Strangely, the top floor is always empty. Tenants move in, but never stay for long. They leave suddenly without explanation, abandoning their belongings as though escaping from something unseen. One day, a tenant decided to take the top floor apartment. It was larger than expected, with high ceilings and heavy wooden doors. Everything appeared normal, except for one detail. At the end of the hallway was a locked door. Unlike the other rooms, this one had no windows. The landlord had only said, "That room is sealed. Don't try to open it." For several nights, everything was quiet. But on the fourth night, just as the clock reached midnight, a faint sound stirred the silence. It was like whispering, low and broken, leaking through the cracks of the locked door. At first it seemed like the wind, but as the nights passed, the whispers grew clearer, layered, as though more than one voice was speaking from inside. Curiosity became unbearable. Standing in front of the locked door, the tenant pressed an ear against the wood. The whispers instantly stopped. A deep silence filled the hallway. Then, from the other side of the door came 3 slow knocks. Each knock echoed longer than the last, as though someone or something knew they were listening. Fear spread like ice through the body. The tenant retreated quickly, locking the bedroom door for the rest of the night. Sleep was restless, haunted by dreams of shadowy figures standing in the hallway, watching from the darkness. In every dream, the locked door was open, but the inside was nothing but black emptiness. The next day, the landlord was questioned again about the strange room. His face paled, and after a long silence, he revealed that years ago a man had lived there. He never left the apartment, and his behavior became increasingly disturbing. One morning, neighbors complained of a horrible smell. When the door was forced open, the man was found lifeless inside. Since then, the room had been locked, and no one dared to enter again. That night, the tenant returned to the apartment with unease. The atmosphere felt heavier than before, as though the walls themselves were breathing. Just after midnight, the whispers began again. This time they were louder, more urgent, overlapping like dozens of voices speaking at once. Then came the unmistakable sound of footsteps, pacing inside the locked room. Heart racing, the tenant grabbed a chair and sat in the living room, trying to stay awake. The footsteps grew faster, circling the room, then suddenly stopped. A new sound replaced them, the slow turning of a door handle. The locked door rattled violently, as though something inside was trying to break free. But the old lock held, trembling under invisible pressure. The noises continued for hours, filling the apartment with dread. When the morning light finally broke through, everything stopped. The hallway was silent again, but the locked door looked different. Its wood was darker, scratched, as if something had clawed at it from the inside during the night. The tenant stayed a few more days, but the sounds returned every midnight, whispers, footsteps, scratching. Finally, unable to endure it any longer, the tenant packed quickly and left the apartment behind. To this day, the top floor remains empty, and the windowless room remains locked, holding whatever restless presence still lingers inside. I stayed late at work that night. The office was empty, and the fluorescent lights were flickering. Normally I liked the quiet, but something felt off. I was walking down the hallway, heading for the elevator, when I noticed a door at the end. It had been locked all day, but now it was slightly open. A cold draft escaped, carrying a whisper I couldn't make out. I froze. Maybe it was my imagination, but curiosity got the better of me. I stepped closer. The whisper sounded a little clearer, almost like someone calling my name. I peeked inside. The room looked empty, but the air was freezing. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "You shouldn't be here." My heart raced. I spun around, planning to leave, but the hallway behind me wasn't the same. The walls seemed farther apart, the doors different. My office gone. I started walking back, trying to find my way. But every turn led to another identical hallway. Every door whispered my name. I couldn't tell which way to go. Then I heard it, a slow, deliberate clicking behind me. I froze. The sound was getting closer. I turned, but no one was there. I could feel it, watching me. My phone buzzed again. Another message. "Stop running." I tried to call anyone for help. The screen went black, then flickered to a photo of me standing in the hallway. Panic set in. I ran blindly, doors brushing my shoulders, shadows stretching along the walls. It felt like the building was alive, twisting to trap me. I found a stairwell and rushed down, but the steps went on forever, deeper than they should. I couldn't see the bottom. My breath echoed like a drum. At the bottom, a door glowed with pale, flickering light. I pushed it open. Inside was a waiting room frozen in time. Dusty chairs, newspapers from decades ago. On a chair in the center, a note. "We've been waiting for you." I froze. The shadows in the corners shifted. Something or someone was watching me. I tried to run, but the hallway I came from had vanished. In its place, a mirrored corridor reflected me endlessly. My scream faded into silence. I opened another door, a dimly lit office. Papers scattered on the floor. The calendar on the wall showed a date that didn't exist. The building was impossible. A whisper came again, louder this time. "You can't leave." My heart raced. I darted across the office, trying to find an exit. Every door led me deeper into the maze. The lights flickered. Shadows moved. Figures glided silently behind walls, faceless. Human, but not. I stumbled backward. The floor tilted. I lost my balance. My phone buzzed one last time. A simple message. "It's too late." I looked around. No one could hear me. Only footsteps, slow, patient, relentless. I ran to the nearest door and flung it open. Darkness, endless. Darkness swallowed me whole. I felt the cold presence close in, and the corridor, my world, vanished. I don't know how long I was trapped there. Time lost all meaning. I only remember the whispers, the shadows, the feeling of being watched. And sometimes at night I still hear it. The soft echo of footsteps behind me, following, waiting, patient.